Sound check. I used to have the flow on tap, but I've been out so long I forgot how to rhyme. Yeah, I'm coming back to take what's mine, and I don't own much, so it won't take time. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, in your neighborhood podcast. I forgot what episode that was. We're on.
Was the last one 18?
Yeah. We've returned, and something else might be returning soon.
What's that?
Football. So, our guest today, you hear that lovely, did you hear that lovely guitar riff at the beginning? If you're a Reali-T fan, you know my fan base of 4.5 people. I don't discriminate because, little people count too. So 4.5 people, shout out my fan base. Put me on camera one.
Is that a small amount of people or little people?
It's like 4 normal sized people, literally half.
You can't call them midgets anymore, can you? Oh, let's block that out. You can't call them midgets. You have to say
little people is acceptable though.
Little people is acceptable. Yeah, it sounds condescending. But let me reintroduce our guest. It's Jeff. His name is Jeff.
Now then.
The producer, we can call him producer, right?
Yeah, man, we made the beat together.
That beautiful riff at the beginning that inspired me to spit some of my most influential lyrics, like I'm a Virgin.
That was quite a while back, that wasn't it? When did that actually come out? It was about 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, it must have been about 2 years ago now, but it wasn't on T's album until more recently.
Yeah, until this year,
right.
Until 2021, because I like to take my time with these things. But yes, Jeff, how you doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Yourself?
I'm cool. Again, sorry to cut you off there. I forgot to introduce my co-host.
Go for it.
It's all good, bro.
It's 40. It's 45 minus 5. It's 8 times 5. 40 in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Something.
You're cool.
I'm good, mate. I'm good.
I haven't seen you for a while.
I know. We're now here together once again in this small, hot room. It's all feeling a bit mad.
Yes. The room is very hot. Woo! Reali-T, your boy from Hackney. I don't know if I introduced myself. But anyway, I'm Reali-T anyway.
The only people watching are watching for you anyway, so you know who you are.
I don't know. Yes, in your neighborhood podcast, Jeff.
Yep.
I heard some stories about you, bro.
Which stories?
let's just get into it, shall we?
Go for it.
Magic mushrooms. Were the mushrooms magic? Because they did disappear, didn't they?
They did disappear. They did. Unfortunately, they did.
Did they ever appear?
I never got them.
Okay, for our viewers or listeners that don't understand, tell us what went on with these mushrooms.
Well, I ordered a magic mushroom grow kit from this shop online in Amsterdam, based in Amsterdam, and they should have got delivered within 5 working days apparently. And anyway, the 5 days come up and I'd not received them, so I sent the company an email and asked what's going on. So they said sometimes tracking it can take a little bit to get there now because Brexit and everything, tighter customs. So they sent me UPS tracking. So I logged in, and it said that they'd stopped at the customs port in England, in the UK. This was like down near Essex way. I can't remember the exact place. And then I thought, all right, well, they might get confiscated, but whatever. That's not the end of the world, is it?
Okay, let me stop you there. You know, when you got these mushrooms, did you think anything of it, like,
Well, no, because
I'm feeling like Walter White here. Like my life.
Oh, no, definitely not. Like I say, it was only personal use. I'm not like trying to be some psychedelic kingpin.
Yeah. By the way, kids, these aren't the mushrooms that you put on pizzas, are they? These are the mushrooms.
These. I mean, you can put them on pizzas by all means.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I've put them on pizzas before.
You have?
Yeah, it's just
flipping out, son.
The result after eating them is a little bit different.
You don't get diarrhea like me.
No.
Sorry, too much information.
No, it's sound. So anyway, yeah. So the magic mushrooms, psilocybin in them, so they make you trip. So anyway, I'd ordered them. I'd looked at tracking. We stopped at customs. I thought, well, there's a chance that they're going to get through, right? It might just take longer, like I say, because of the Brexit situation. Maybe they're just checking more parcels than usual. And then another couple of weeks went by, and when I was tracking the UPS tracking, it was saying the same thing. So I was like, oh, nightmare. They must have been confiscated. And then I thought it'd stop there, because I mean, I'd read on threads and stuff that if they do get found, because they're not legal in the UK. Then usually they get confiscated. You might get a letter through customs saying that your parcel's been confiscated, blah, blah, blah. So I forgot about it. I pretty much wrote them off. I've lost the money. It's not the end of the world. And then about 3 to 4 weeks had passed, and I was at work, and my fiancée messaged me and said, "Oh, there's loads of police on the street." She said, "There's 2 vans in a car." And I was like, "All right." I was like, "What's going on here?" Like,
wait, what?
yeah, no, right, all right. So it escalates pretty mad, considering the severity of the so-called crime. And anyway, so I naturally thought it was for someone else on the road. I thought, well, I'm not criminal. Why would it be there for me, right? So then, obviously being nosy, I was messaging her saying, "Oh, what's going on then? What's happening on the street? Who are they for?" And which she didn't respond. And I was at work busy anyway, so I was just cracking on. And then, about half an hour later, I had a message off her saying, "Ring me when you can, please." So, like, naturally, I was a little bit concerned. So I got out of the office and went to ring her. And she was like, "The police have just been here for you." I said, "What?" She was like, "They know about the grow kit." She was like, "I'm really sorry." She went, "I've grassed her up. I didn't mean."
Oh, she snitched.
I was like, "What? It's over." No, I felt really sorry for her, to be honest, because she was all panicky, and obviously I didn't mean to put her in that sort of situation. But she said the police had came. But what was a bit excessive is that there was 2 vans and a car, but they said that they had to do this just in case they were suspicious, in case I was trying to supply Class A drugs or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, if it was 2 vans and a car for you, mate, imagine what it would have been for T.
They would have got the helicopters up.
I know, mate, I know, right? So then she said, first of all, apparently the police wouldn't tell her what was going on. She was like, "Well, he's my fiancé and he's a father of my 2 kids." She was like, "I want to know what's going on." So we're like, "Can we come inside?" So she invited them in the house and said, "Do you know if he's ordered anything from the internet?" And that's when she said, "Well, he ordered a magic mushroom grow kit."
She could have said anything at that point. She could have said, "Oh, he ordered boxers the other day."
I know, right? Yeah, no. We didn't know you couldn't say that. I know.
We need to bring her in for questioning. 40.
Obviously, she's panicking. She's in this state of panic, and she's like, "Shit, I don't want to go to jail, so send him."
Does she listen to rap music?
No, not really. She doesn't listen to music. She's not really a musical person, to be honest.
She hasn't heard of a Ride or Die B-word.
If she does listen to music, it tends to be like some heavy 90s metal type music. It's a bit random, to be honest.
Yeah, if she listened to hip hop, she'll know the stop snitching rule.
Yeah, right, I know. Snitches get stitches and all that. Well, you haven't seen the face.
Oh, God.
I'm joking.
Amazing.
You know what? Jeff's definitely not a beta.
Beta, baby.
But what's the reason that you were wanting to trip? Was it just for a good time, or is there other reasons to it?
I just feel better every time I have money. I only have them like about twice a year. I mean, max it would be 3 times a year. Sometimes.
So you're not an addict?
For me personally, it would be impossible to be addicted to them. I mean, other drugs, yeah, but they're heavy. I mean, there's probably going to be the odd mental person with just a weird genetic type that could maybe abuse them. Yeah. But I imagine that they'd send themselves insane pretty quickly, or at least have a high enough dose to literally put them off them for a long time.
Because I know myself, if I was to take something I like, for example, Football Manager.
Yeah.
When I play Football Manager, I love it. I could be on it for 24 hours. So if I like these mushrooms, especially if you put them on pizza, put some mushrooms in jollof rice. Yeah. Then I'll be going insane. I'll be more insane than I am.
And just abusing them.
Yeah.
But this is a thing.
When I like something, that's why I had to get a tooth taken out, because I like sweets too much.
Yeah, and you just get addicted. But they don't have that addictive property. And plus, if I was to have mushrooms, it's not like I'm like, yay, I can't wait for this. Like, I am a bit excited, but I'm also like really nervous because you don't know what's going to come up. Like, do you know, like, I'm having a beer here, right, I drink loads of them, and I'm just numb.
Yeah.
I'm numb to everything else that's going around in my mind. It just creates this little, like, bubble in your head, and everything on the outside you're protected from this numbness bubble. With them, it shatters the cover. You're faced with your thoughts. Like, you're completely honest with yourself on them. I think it separates yourself from your ego. Do you know what I mean? So so if you are like an egotistical person or an insecure person, it will just put them right in your face, and it won't be enjoyable. So when you hear about like a bad trip or something like that, I don't necessarily think like it's not like the mushrooms are bad. Your mindset was bad, and it's it's sort of beneficial to have a so-called bad trip, because it makes you face these issues that you've got going on in your head. And then once it's over, you tend to rethink them a little bit. You just become a little bit more aware of why you're doing certain things, especially like for ego reasons. I mean, even if you're not egotistical, we all do things for egotistical reasons. And I think it shows that. It shows you your mind, basically. I think it's a fast track to meditation, and me being an impatient person anyway, it would be achievable through meditation, but you're going to have to put a lot of practice in. Yeah. Whereas these, you know, you can just eat them on a pizza, or you can make a cup of tea out of them or something like that, and you've got 4 hours where you're just forced into it. So, like I say, every time, even though I've had them quite a lot of times, I'm always nervous before I have them. Because I know, depending on how my mind is at the minute, it could go a bit could go a bit pear-shaped, and it could face you with that ugliness of your soul.
I didn't even know it was like that. I thought people just use it to get high.
Well, some people do. I mean, don't get me wrong, like if you have like a really small amount at a party, let's say if you have like 2 gram dried at a party, it'll just be fun. You might have some vibrant colours, a little bit of breathing in and out of the walls and stuff like that. But when you push the dose a little bit higher, I've never had what's coined a heroic dose, which is 5 grams and above, which is meant, your full world is meant to melt around you.
What's meant to happen differently, like if you were to do a heroic dose compared to maybe what you've done before?
Well, I hear stories of like complete ego death. Like I've just skirted around. Like imagine a black hole, right? So the heroic dose is at the centre of the black hole. I've only ever pushed it as far as like 3.5 grams, which would be considered a medium standard dose. So that's going to give you a good trip, but you know, you're not going to lose sense of who you completely are. Yeah. So I've just like, I've done the orbit of the black hole. I've never dived completely into the black hole.
Flipping no. But this is a song. I wasn't expecting this when we started the podcast. This is some new stuff that we're getting. I'm never going to try mushrooms because I'm too shook.
Yeah.
I'm too shook.
I think I'm the same.
Yeah, I'm too shook.
I don't know, do you think you have to be kind of open to it and not feeling shook for it?
Well, sort of, but then again, like I say, I mean, I'd say I'm still a little bit shook before I ever take them. And I always think the transition period is a little bit scary because, like, you know, as you're coming up, it doesn't always feel great. You might feel a little bit nauseous. The nerves are getting a better ear because your vision's starting to go slightly distorted. Colours are becoming a little bit more vibrant, and you've still got that sober side of your brain there. And I think when you've got that sort of sober side of your brain, it can be scary because you feel yourself like ripping apart a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Once you get there, usually all right. Not always, depends how strong it is, and like you say, mindset. But once you get there, you're all right. So like I say, I don't know. I don't think. I'm not sure if. I think everyone would be nervous before taking psych. Even slightly nervous. Even like psychonauts who take them all the time. I'm sure they get a little bit nervous.
Is that the name?
I would think.
Is that the name from it? A psychonaut?
Psychonaut, yeah. People who experiment in psychedelic experiences.
Psychonaut.
Yeah, like
I'm learning something new every
like an astronaut,
single minute.
But a psychonaut.
Psychonaut. Listen, let's lighten the mood a bit. How was it like in jail? Did anyone tickle your butt?
No one done that. No one done that. Unfortunately.
did they have to?
So you had your
put
back
you in a cell.
No. So it was fine, to be honest. I think like our lass was freaking out a little bit more than she should have. But anyway,
what, a snitch?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, the snitch was freaking out, thinking, "Oh no, I'm going to."
You could have had your butt tickled because of her. You was like, "No, I've had 2 kids. I don't swing that way."
But yeah, I phoned her anyway. She said like the policeman wants just talk to you. He said he's not going to arrest you or anything like that. He just wants to talk to you. So he's left his card with the number on. He said, I told him you work full time, so you could phone him either on a Friday or on a Sunday.
But why did he want to speak to you?
To find out the whole story of what's happened, what my intentions were, whether I was attempting to become some sort of mushroom drug dealer. I imagine
the Heisenberg of mushrooms.
To be fair, after talking to him, I think it was on his job list. To be fair,
do
you know what I mean?
He just wants to pay the bills.
Exactly. And whether he believed they should be legal or not is not the case. Is it? It's like the law was there. Yeah. So that was it. So anyway, I phoned him. I phoned him straight away as soon as I got off the phone to Sarah. I phoned him. I said, look. He said, would like you to come down to talk to us. I said, I'm at work full time. I said, but I could come down Friday because I only work half day on Friday. He said, well, I'm not at work on a Friday, so it'd have to be a Sunday. I said, hey, look, mate. I said, I'll see if I can get out of work early. I said, because I can't be stewing on this until Sunday because I'll just start getting paranoid. I'll develop it into something in my mind, and I'll be going to prison for life.
That's what I was thinking when I got the text from 40. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Well, Jeff soon touch road.
I mean, I wasn't too worried about it because I thought, it's not like, to be fair, I only got the grow kit. I didn't actually get the mushrooms, so they hadn't even, in my eyes, they hadn't produced mushrooms because I had to intervene on the thing. But apparently, because it'd been kept in customs for so long, a bit of fungus had actually sprouted, and that's what they tested, and that's what came back positive for the psilocybin.
So they were actually the ones in possession of it. You never were in possession of it?
I never had possession of it, no. But the...
What the?
So the thing was, they were saying that I was guilty of importing a Class A drug into the country.
But it wasn't a Class A drug at the moment you were importing it?
Well, no. That's what I like. And to be fair, right, so when I went down to the station, I was just... he had me banker rights anyway. If it wasn't for my name, like, it's not like I tried to hide it. I put my name on it. On a package, it's not like I tried to do it all sneakily, and then plus obviously Sarah had said that I'd done it, so I just thought I'll admit it. I'll just be straightforward with him. So I told him what the crack was. Obviously, the only intention was to grow them and use them for personal use. I forgot what my point was there. To be fair,
I was saying that like they were.
All right. Yes. Yeah. About testing them.
Well, just that what you had wasn't the Class A drug. But what they had was the Class A drug, so they were the ones who actually grew it. Because while they had it in quarantine, they've grown the Class A drug, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair,
they should be getting their butts tickled.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they actually grown because, they're not meant to without intervention, like without you doing. It must have been a good kit, so I'm gutted I never got it.
Crazy. You know what?
Yeah.
No disrespect to you, but I would have preferred you go to jail.
What's that like?
Because it would help my rap career. I would have more content to rap about, like Free Jeff, Jeff's World, Jeff's World.
Do you know what's mad though, Jeff? You were saying how they're such a helpful drug for people with like maybe mental issues and things like that because it makes you kind of get rid of your ego or whatever. But then they're a Class A drug.
No, well, this is what I was like. I'm not going to pretend I didn't know they were a Class A drug, but after that happening, it pissed me off a bit because I was like, why the fuck are these a Class A drug?
Have you had
that's my question. Like, what if they're so helpful? But there's clinical trials going on, isn't there?
There is, yeah. There's been quite a lot of studies, and obviously there's states in America now that have completely legalised the use of psilocybin.
Have you had them delivered before?
Yes.
Okay.
I think is it since we left the EU?
Yeah, so that's what I think it is. I think it's tight. Personally, I mean, I can't say it for a fact, but I think it's due to the Brexit thing and customs tightening. Now it's
That's a big error on our part in this country.
No.
Let's not get too political. It's just depressing.
What I want to say is though, as a pharmacist too, like, how do you feel about these like alternative medications? So you're there kind of helping people with the prescription drugs that are kind of already legal and sanctioned and whatnot. What's your thoughts on like things like that are maybe a bit more natural and maybe a little bit more on the edge, like, maybe a bit more risky in terms of, I mean, I say they're more risky, but prescribed drugs, pretty much all of them are toxic in it at certain doses. It's about the dose. Mushrooms, you'd have to eat like the weight of an elephant's worth to die off them, right? Yeah,
I don't know if that's exact.
It's like something a lot.
It's something stupid. There's like a statistical chart of hospital admissions due to drug intake on the government NHS website. And it goes from like heroin, alcohol, methamphetamine, tobacco, like all the way down to even weed, which is higher than shrooms. Like mushrooms are at the very bottom. I think it's like it's a bit stupid, like 4 people admitted to hospital every 10 years or something like that. And no doubt that's probably just from freaking out, from like, taking a bit too much and being like, oh shit, I don't like this.
My one thing, going back to your question, 40, is that I believe everyone should just really do what they want. I'm like that police guy that has to do his job to pay the bills. I'm not going to go, like, even if the GPHC is watching this or whatever, I'm not going to go beyond what I need to do in my job. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, Jeff, you know what? I'm snitching. Like,
speaking of the...
Like, it's not going to affect my paycheck personally.
What is it, the GPHC?
Yeah.
Like, and speaking of snitching, wasn't there a situation with that previously?
It's going to make me relive the snitching incident.
What's this like?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, I got snitched to the General Pharmaceutical Council.
What for?
I got snitched on for, watch this now, very controversial. Put me on camera one.
You're on it.
Oh, I'm on it. I got snitched on, and I quote, for being a rapper named Reali-T, for bullying online, and for selling drugs to friends. Now, 40, Jeff.
Yeah.
I didn't know Mrs. Jackson at the pharmacy was my friend. That was news to me.
That's Mrs. Jackson's just all white women.
She's
All right, okay.
Mrs. Karen. I didn't know she was my friend. I thought she was just a... So, I got snitched on by someone called Anonymous. Yeah. Nearly lost my career.
Not the
For what
Anonymous.
exactly? I'm confused. What exactly did you do?
I quote again. For being a rapper named Reali-T. I guess they didn't like my rap name. For bullying.
What? How are you?
I look like a big bully. And for selling drugs to friends. This is...
All right. So when you say selling drugs, are we talking about like selling some stuff from the pharmacy? We're not talking about...
Listen, I think it's someone online that saw me online and thought, you know what, he's a black rapper. He's probably selling drugs to friends.
Completely based on assumptions, yeah.
On assumptions. So as soon as I saw the letter from the Pharmaceutical Council, I was like, you know what, I have to call because I've got bills to pay. I called them straight away. I spoke to the lady on the phone at the council. I said, listen, do you want my Spotify?
What?
I don't even swear.
That's the maddest thing, that your music's like the least offensive rap music. Pretty much out there.
I think people listen to me less because I don't swear. So I was like, listen, get me some plays.
Yeah.
Listen to this track. I don't swear.
But it was serious, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It was,
really?
You were looking at like, career
Losing my career.
damaging.
Yeah, because of someone sending the complaint.
Surely that's just pure outright discrimination. What's that got to do with anything?
Pharmaceutical Council, as this goes on again, leading to I'm just doing my job. Because the Pharmaceutical Council get a complaint and obviously they have to investigate it. Because imagine, God forbid, if it was true. Like, I'm taking like morphine out of the pharmacy, which I'm not. Taking morphine out of the pharmacy.
No, don't suggest that, Jeff. We've already seen his history of mushroom misuse. Don't be giving him any other ideas.
Let me not say I'm taking morphine out of the pharmacy. Someone cut this up and send it to GX.
It'll easily be edited.
Yeah, they'll edit it. But taking a certain drug out of the pharmacy, which is controlled, and selling it on the streets. And imagine if I was doing that for real.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Because that puts the whole profession in jeopardy.
Yeah,
you get what I mean. I've heard some stories about some pharmacists.
I'm sure it happens.
Yeah, I'm sure there's loads that do it.
Definitely.
Like where was people getting all the lean from? UK rappers are still drinking lean, right?
What's lean?
I think that's
like cough.
That's just cough syrup.
What is it? Promethazine and
is that the one with where it's got codeine in? No.
Yeah, codeine and promethazine it is, I believe.
Oh, you could just get that over the counter, man.
But you can't get that here, can you?
Nah, I don't think. I think the stuff that they like the stuff that really gets you.
Scissor, right? That's
that's what they used to always call it. Didn't they call it lean?
Yeah, there's similar stuff.
Like back in the 90s.
Scissor.
But yeah, I think that stuff's. I think it got controlled if it wasn't already.
Yeah, it's just I'm giving you the inside stories here with certain things. Like, say for example, you've heard of cocodamol.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You see some people, because it says on the pack, over the counter, it's 3 days use.
Yeah.
Because it says on
you
the
can
pack.
Get dependent, right?
You can get addicted.
Yeah.
Personally, I've known some pharmacists that have seen some patients frequently come to the pharmacy for these type of drugs. And they just let them take it. So for example, like someone will come in, obviously off their face, and they say, "Oh, I need codeine. Who's it for?" Because we're supposed to ask these questions. Oh, it's for my grandma. Tomorrow, oh, it's for my uncle. Same codeine.
Yeah.
They'll even switch it. These drug addicts, they're switching it up now. They're saying on
because you can extract it, can't you? So
you can extract it,
because they have like different melting temperatures. I think it is. You can extract the pure
it.
codeine from it.
And I'm thinking, if these drug addicts, yeah, which sounds ignorance, but drug dependent people or whatever, because we can't. Everyone's politically correct these days. If they use the sense they're using, because I wouldn't know. Oh, you get cocodamol and you heat it up. And you like if they use that,
they could be a pharmacist.
Exactly.
Well,
they could make rap music and be called Reali-T.
Which, like, when you think about like really successful drug dealers,
online.
isn't it? Like, they'd be like really good business owners, probably, because
they would like change the world.
Yeah.
All the hoops they've got to jump through to make sure they're not getting caught. And
Like, it cannot be easy, can it?
Or they could just be politicians. BJ, that's a word to you.
Do you know? Speaking of drugs, and also back to your point of getting your bum tickled.
I like how we're linking everything.
You know, previously I had a situation where I was out in a club, and
wait, what?
The place got raided.
Okay,
When was this?
No,
this is years ago.
but did you have 40?
No,
Don't reveal it here.
No. I didn't have any drugs on me, obviously.
Oh no, I thought I was talking about the bum tickling. Forget.
Oh yeah, well, there unfortunately was bum tickling involved. Yeah, so
That came in a bit late. Sorry about that.
we got raided. The bar got raided I was in. And for some reason the dogs didn't like me. So, basically they started barking and whatnot, whatever. So the police, they handcuffed me, took me out of a van outside, but it wasn't even a police van. It was like a renter van. So I'm thinking, what's going on here? There was loads, like, they stormed the place. There was like 30 people in, 30 police come in. And then we got handcuffed, took me outside. There was someone from the local paper taking photos. So I'm like there in cuffs, and they're snapping us. And obviously I was like, I want to be in the paper looking like.
Did he have to get you like to sign off on that? You know, in the paper.
I don't know what they would have done.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm sure you maybe have to get permission, or unless they're hoping if this goes to trial and then there's a successful conviction.
And we've got the picture.
We've got a picture. Yeah. I don't really know. But they took me in the back of a van, and obviously they needed to ensure that I wasn't carrying anything I shouldn't be. So they're right, take your top off. I'm fuming, obviously. Took my top off, took my shorts, well, my jeans off. Say shorts, I'm wearing shorts now, but obviously I was in a club or bar, whatever it was, so I had jeans on. Anyway, take my shoes off. I got everything off. Obviously, that's when the bum tickling happened.
Can you pause a second though? Right? Can you who? If you were a police officer, do you think like you'd be getting pleasure out of doing that?
No,
you wouldn't, would you? I can't imagine someone wanting to do this job. So do you think like they draw straws or something when there's like 3 of them in a van? Who's the one who's going to have to put the finger up the shit?
When you have to tickle the bum.
Yeah, right.
So you got a free prostate exam.
Yeah, but that's not even the point. So I'm stood there, like at this point, obviously you pull your boxers down, and then they're doing whatever, and then just as he's finishing, taking his finger, I'm saying just as he's finishing, it makes it sound like he was doing something he shouldn't have been.
He was close to the end.
Yeah, he was reaching his finale. Anyway, so I've turned around, and as I have, they've banged my shoes on the door of the van to see if they can like anything drops out of them. Obviously, there's a bobby outside the van. And he's heard them knock, and he's opened the door. I'm stood there in my kecks and everything. And everyone's at this point left the bar. So they're all stood outside the bar. God. And the van's on the road outside the bar. So I'm there, basically starters, like in the middle of pulling my boxes up, and everyone from the bar can see me. Yeah.
That's awful. That's classic you, though, isn't it?
It is, unfortunately, mate. I do tend to get in some strange situations like that, but
definitely be a sitcom, I think.
But
yeah, stories to tell.
There's an alternative story to that that's happening in my mind, whereby the dogs, they're secret agents for like a porn label. So they're like, this is, they've been given the scent of the type of man they like the porn people like, and then they've come up to you and they're like,
quite a wild theory, this like,
and they're like, this is the guy we like, woof woof, woof woof. They have to do it a bit coy, woof woof, and then they take you to the back, and then you're on fake taxi.
I mean, yeah, I wish it had have gotten down like that instead of what actually transpired.
Yeah. But that sounds traumatic, man. What the hell?
Doesn't it?
Yeah, and then looking back, Jeff made a good point there when he was like, you know, do you think they want to do this as a police officer? Because I was like, well, you're not going to apologise?
Yeah.
Like, you've just made me bend over and...
He's like, mate, I'm the one with the shit on.
Surely you should get...
Yeah, exactly. Now I'd never thought of it that way, but he's like, oh, I'm just doing my job. I was like, you could say, sorry, I had to put you through that.
Surely you should... I would be asking for compensation, man. I'll be like, I can't poo the same anymore. It goes in a different angle.
Just shit through a
I
funnel.
used to be able to poo so straight knuckles.
I mean, it wasn't... They didn't ruin me. They just, you know...
How big was this thing?
I don't know. I didn't measure it.
Gosh, this sounds... I can't believe that. Bloody hell. I don't know if we can follow up from that one.
Do you know what?
No, you've
We
got
can't.
another...
No, we can't follow up from it. But I remember me and Jeff have known each other for a long time. You see,
yeah.
and I know he had a bit of a run-in with the police before. I think he got caught breaking into his own house. Did that not happen before?
Are you not talking about shafts?
Was it breaking into Shaft's house?
Yeah, it was breaking into Shaft's house.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as it sounds. It really isn't.
You've both got caught breaking into Shaft's house, yeah?
Yeah. So it was a long time ago. I mean, we were teenagers. I think I was like 14 or something at the time, right?
Yeah.
And like in my back garden, you had a fence, and over that fence, my friend Shaft lived in that house. So I used to be around there all the time, and he used to have this big giant shed in his back garden. So we used to all just sit in there and just mess about as kids, having a drink, having a joint, or whatever it was at the time. And there was this particular...
I don't know if T's too familiar with being a kid and having joints, but...
I was nodding my head
he's
like,
like,
yeah, I know what you
like,
mean.
Well, just, I mean, take the drinks and joints away. We were just having a laugh, right? We were together. Anyway, so this was 1 week where Shafraz and his sisters who lived in the house, they went to visit the family in Bradford. So we continued. Like, he was like, yeah, it's sound, just sit in the shed while we were away, there's no problem. Anyway, so we had this plan to do an all-nighter, right, in the shed. With there was me and Dean, which was Shaft's cousin. There was a couple of guys who lived in our area, and then loads of our friends out of our year from school. So it started off, and I think there was about 10 of us who were going to do this all-nighter as kids. As the night got on and it got colder and a little bit more boring, the numbers dwindled. And then there was these two lads out of the area that were with us, and they said, oh, we're going. So it was just me and Nadeem left, right? So Dean was like, well, we can't stay in here all night. He said, look, I know how to get in the house. He said, there's a window open, I'll climb in. I know where the back door key is. I'll let you in. We'll stay in there for the night. Happy days. So we're like, sound? All right, and there's no problem there. Shaft won't mind. You know what I mean? We're good mates anyway. And it's family. Like, Dean's his cousin. So he done that.
It does, when you're telling it now, it does sound a bit dodgy, doesn't it? Like,
No,
I
it
can
does.
see why he's got
definitely,
arrested.
but we were young, and at the time, you know, we just wanted to be warm.
In my mind, it was like your mum was out and you were just getting into your house, but it wasn't even your house or Redeem's house,
Well,
was
I'm
it?
thinking, I'm not too sure why we didn't go to mine. Maybe it was because I was drunk or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just so I wouldn't get sussed. Because, like I say, my house was a stone's throw away.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got in the house, and I remember we were just chilling out in the bedroom watching South Park. Right, there was a video of South Park, and then we seen these torches shine into the bedroom. So we were like, oh, it's the lads who we were with earlier. They're just trying to mess with us. So Dean went to the curtain. He just peeked out, and then there was police in the back garden. We were like, shit.
There's a running theme with this pod today.
Right, police.
No, snitches.
Yeah, right. I know. Right, tell me about it.
Who's
Yeah,
telling the police?
somebody snitched.
Oh, somebody did snitch.
Probably the
Right.
same person that went to GPHC. Just so anonymous.
So because he'd flicked the curtains, had seen us, we were like, well, we're going to have to go down.
Yeah.
So anyway, we went down. He opened the door with a key, and the police come in. We told them what the crack was. We told them the whole situation, just being honest. So then, because Adeem's mum, Adeem lived like way further away than where we were, and I think his mum was out anywhere, or at least he blagged it so he wouldn't get into trouble. So they took us to mine, and I remember them knocking my mum up. My mum was fuming. Oh, she kicked right off, and then shouted at Adeem as well. But Adeem got to sleep at my house because it was close by, and then he got away with it because his mum's never found out.
Oh, gosh.
Right, so it was me who got in trouble, but the lads who we were with earlier in the night, the last ones who left, they were the ones who phoned the police. They were like much older than us, right? And they were just trying to be dicks. But hang on a minute though. To defend them at this point, they didn't know we'd broken into the house. They thought we were in the shed. So they'd phoned the police, right? Just say, oh, there's someone getting pissed in this house while my neighbour's away.
So you would have got caught anyway.
So we would have got caught, but I doubt it would have been as bad. Obviously, breaking an entry is a little bit different. Anyway, Shafraz found out, and his sisters found out when they got back from Bradford. They were in a mood with us, obviously, understandably. And that was that, mate. Yeah,
Yeah, but like just to rewind on that, you know, you said you got in trouble with your mum.
yeah,
Is that like the traditional Caucasian trouble?
yeah. I think so, mate.
So
yeah.
it's like, oh, I'm very disappointed in you, Jeff. Because if
I mean, it was definitely worded a bit stronger than that. It wasn't.
and you were like, "F off, mom." I'm joking. I'm
no,
joking.
I wasn't like that, mate. I just
That's so ignorant of me.
I kept my mouth shut. I'm not Eddie Murphy's portrayal of a white kid.
Because if I got in trouble, ooh, my mum used to come back from work
Yeah,
with a stick from a tree,
right. Just to bray with it.
and she used to say, "Cause I've got 3 other sisters." She used to say, "Guys, wacky wacky."
like it was a fun game to be played.
Wacky,
play
wacky.
again.
And then she used to recruit one of us
Yeah,
to put it somewhere. So when she asked for the wacky wacky,
yeah.
go and get it.
How how strict was it? Like, what did you have to do to get a blast from the wacky wacky?
A blast from the wacky wacky. It sounds like you were getting high, having a blast on the wacky wacky.
Wait, let me compose myself while I tell this traumatic story. But yeah, we used to, maybe it was like not washing the plates.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Right, something like simple.
yeah.
Yeah,
The plates needed to be washed. Now, like, my sisters don't care really, but
yeah.
before, plates weren't washed.
It's
Wacky
brutal.
wacky.
Like shit.
Yeah, you got a bad report at school. Wacky wacky.
Brutal. But I bet you well behaved because of it.
Yeah, I'm more like you know, when you've come back from the war.
Yeah,
And you have to
PTSD.
be-
Yeah.
You have to be a good guy in the society now, or else there's always the looming thought of the wacky wacky
I mean,
at
my
the
mum
back of your mind.
could be a bit psycho, to be fair,
Yeah.
with regards to hitting with objects. I think I was just lucky because I was the youngest.
Oh,
And I just sort of got away with it.
The youngest always get easy, man.
I skated out of it. I was lucky, I think.
you youngest ones
Exactly.
always get easy. On that point, I'm the oldest.
Right, so you will have had the harshest, right?
I was the
the
guinea
oldest
pig.
too.
Yeah, it's hard being the oldest, man.
No, I mean, even as a dad now, I've got like 2 daughters, and I always let the younger one get away with a little bit more. I'm
Yeah.
like, you were older, you should know better.
Yeah.
She's only a couple of years old.
You've been in this world longer. Deal with it.
Why? She's like, why?
Yeah.
No wonder she doesn't like your younger sister.
Yeah, guys. Have we got anything else to talk about? What else have we got to talk about?
Not sure.
I mean, that was a lovely mushroom story.
that was good.
Yeah. We went from there to wacky wacky. That was a good segue.
What you listen to at the minute, Jeff?
Yeah.
Music wise, I mean, I listen to all most of the stuff I listen to is old stuff. Honestly, I'm just like most like 70s classic rock and stuff like
Oh.
that.
Name one track we need to, because you know.
Well, at the minute, I've just been hammering, which is earlier than, and it's not even rock, but Nancy Sinatra, Bang Bang, just because I'm trying to learn to play it. So I've just been listening to it over and over and over again, and then playing the guitar on it.
And that's the name of this pod, Wacky Wacky Bang Bang.
There you go, then. Fits perfectly.
Sounds like what happened to 40 in the van.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
No,
Bang,
there was no bang
It was
bang.
twice. It was twice.
There was definitely no bang bang.
Just bang.
I need to stop talking about that. That's true. It's hurting my bum talking about what happened to him. Like, I'm feeling uncomfortable.
It's like, do you know, like when people lose a limb, and
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
like phantom limb,
Yeah.
limb feeling. It's
Phantom
like phantom
finger. Yes. Yeah. So thank you, Jeff, for being on this pod, man.
No
You've
problem.
been fantastic. You've christened this new setup we have.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Fantastic, man. Thank you. You've been a wonderful guest, man. We hope to have you back soon.
No
Swing
problem.
by the neighborhood soon.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. In your neighborhood podcast. Can't remember the episode, but we're here in it.
Should we just
19?
start from 1 again? I don't know if the last one was 18 or not. I'm not sure.
It was a number.
It was a while ago.
Yeah.